What's going on, everybody? Dave here at the Reef Aquarium shop in Indianapolis, Indiana. It's time to mess with the micro pond again. Let's get to it. Alright, so in my first micro pond video, we upgraded my betta's setup from a failed mangrove experiment to something much better. If you missed that, check out the link above and meet me back here. And now that you're all caught up, let's do some upgrades. Alright, so I'll admit that I actually did some footage of this and I messed it up. Dummy mistake made by me. So you can actually see one of my upgrades currently, and that's simply that I've put some water movement into the micro pond itself. It's just a little fountain pump because I don't really need a bunch of water motion, but every good pond has a little water feature, right? So I decided to add that in. Next, I grabbed a tiny little heater from Aquatop. Now this thing is very low wattage and preset to 77 degrees, so there's no controlling the actual temperature on it. That's perfectly fine. It's gonna do for my situation. It just gets a little chilly in here in the office in the winter months sometimes. So I wanted to make sure that my temperature was staying consistent. So now that I've got the pond heated and the water feature added, I also want to upgrade the light. The most important upgrade that I really need to make right now is the lighting. Right now I just have this tiny little Reno light on it, which is great for what it is, but it's not meant to handle all of this. So I am going to bump that up quite significantly. We had an extra Zetlight UFO that I grabbed and am going to put on here, which it potentially is a little overkill, but I do have plenty of things that this can be lighting, and I'm hoping to suspend it somewhere over here and be able to adjust that height if it's too much or too little. It's also going to be adjustable on the actual fixture itself, but aesthetically, and if I want the power to kind of like bleed over and hit some of my house plants that I've got kind of spread throughout my shelving here, that would be pretty good too. But again, my focus is this micro pond and getting the coolest home for my little beta dude. The pond is heated. We've got a water feature in there now, which I'm probably going to upgrade into something niftier at some point. I'm hoping eventually to make a little waterfall stack that will be run by this pump and flow down into the micro pond, but that's going to be a whole nother project and a whole nother video. So yeah, let's bust open this Zetlight and see what we've got. This is the Zetlight UFO. This is the Zetlight UFO out of the package. So as you can see, it is an LED cannon. It has a unique shape that you typically don't see in other fixtures, which is why it's called the UFO. Nice LED panel on the bottom there. It's going to be plenty of light for all the plants that we're trying to grow here. All right, so what I need to do now is figure out how I am going to mount this, thinking about suspending it from the ceiling. I've got to piddle around here and figure out what's going to work best. All right, so I know I'm going to be running this through the back of the stand, so I'm just going to go ahead and get that done and out of the way. All right, the cord is run. So on further inspection, there are two ways to mount this bad boy. One is a suspension kit here, and the other is a hard bracket. I don't know, I'm leaning towards the suspension, and I think I'm gonna stick with that and try it and see how it goes. Manual. How to mount. Oh. Getting hot in here. Okay, so I have the first part of our hanging bracket on here. We're going to drop our line and suspend it like so. What's going on here? Oh, the things are, it's already in there. Dummy. Sorry, Jim. That's how that's supposed to work, yeah. Nice and tight. Ugh. Okay. And our flying saucer UFO will be suspended just like this. except over here. Pretty pumped about it. So let me figure out how I'm gonna mount this to the ceiling. I'll be right back with you. Wondering if this would hold it. I wanna know. I think it will. I think it will. I think this clip will hold it up there. We're gonna find out. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's gonna be solid. I think it'll work. So now I just need to estimate the height I want it at. Okay. I think it's time to see if this is gonna hold up. Well, let's do it. Okay, we got the light up here, and I am noticing that it is super not balanced. So I am going to make a few adjustments and fix that, and then we are going to plug this cord in. I think that's a lot better, don't you? Moment of truth time. Ready? Ta-da! Why isn't it working? Ah, it was my connection down here. So let's film that again. Plugging it in, the moment of truth. How does it look? Okay, that is a great amount of light. I am pretty thrilled with that, in fact. I do need to level it up a touch more though. I gotta get rid of the Reno. Let's just do that now. Basically where it lies is centered, so I think I'm gonna leave it at that. Wow, this looks great. Okay, now I need to top this off and we'll give it a closer look. I'm gonna use this cup to catch the force of the water so that I don't blow all my sand around. Alright, so here is the updated micro pond with our water feature heater hanging out in the back there, and our brand new Zetlight UFO. Looking really good, and I expect some awesome growth off of this LED. I'm hoping that these pothos will go nuts. The ivy was already going crazy under just that Reno, so I'm really not too concerned that that's going to struggle at all. Bog lily hasn't really done anything other than just do this. It hasn't looked like it was struggling. It also hasn't really looked like it's been like flourishing as well. So I'm really hoping that the upgrade of this light is going to kind of promote some more growth, some new growth, and eventually I want this thing to flower. That is my end goal. Should have some really nice reddish pink flowers coming up off of it. And then I put some salvinia in here as well, because what is a pond without some floating plants? And this is a fantastic floating plant. Check out all the texture in there. It is super cool. It's like fuzzy. One of my favorite floaters, because it's not tiny like duckweed and gonna get caught up in your filtration, and it's like not massive like some of your other floaters. In the right conditions, it's gonna go nuts, and I fully expect this to eventually be covering a good portion of this if I don't like continually pull some out and leave some open spots. My betta is loving this. He is being a little shy right now because, you know, I'm messing with the tank. Oh, there you are, little dude. Hey man, we were just talking about you. Hanging out right there. Black betta in a black pond form. Now you know what would be cool. Now you know what? I will save that for another time. You're just gonna have to wait to figure out what's gonna be cool. So that's gonna do it for us today, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for joining me on my second micro pond upgrade. I hope you are enjoying these. I do have a few more ideas to implement before we are done with this project, which we will probably never be absolutely finished with this project. No tank is ever done. But if you liked this or got some value out of it, please give the video a like. Also be sure to subscribe to that channel, to this channel, not that channel. Hit that subscribe button and bell icon. That way you get notified every time we post new content and every time we go live. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.